So I'm going to talk about For the Record by Adrienne Rich. So my interpretation of this poem is that it's about how human beings have taken over the planet Earth just totally for themselves without really much of a concern for other animals or the nature that we live in. So in the first couple of lines, the clouds and the stars didn't wage this war. The brooks gave no information. So I take that to mean there's a war going on in an area, but the area has nothing to do with it. That's not why we're there. It's, the people. It's not, we're destroying the area due to this because of this war, and it has nothing to do with it. So we're tearing down the trees, we're ruining the plants that are there, and just for human beings' gain. So then it continues, if the mountains spewed stones of fire into the river, it was not taking sides. The raindrops faintly swaying under a leaf had no political opinions. So basically saying the things that happen naturally, whether it's volcanic eruptions or tornadoes or whatever they're natural things. They're not happening because, we didn't have a tornado because we were, but it was because of the humans. It was nature. We can't interfere with it. So then it continues, and if here or there a house filled with backed up raw sewage or poisoned those who lived there with slow fumes over years, the houses were not at war, nor did the tinned up buildings. So I take that saying, they're the negative things that may happen to you. It's not trying to defeat you. It's not, the house didn't have problems because of you. It's just things happen. It's not, some things aren't controllable. So then, intended to refuse shelter to homeless women and roaming children. They had no policy to keep them roaming, nor dying. No, the cities were not the problem. The bridges were nonpartisan. The freeways burned, but not with hatred. So, again, for example, the Twin Towers, they caught on fire, but, you may blame, it's the humans' fault. It wasn't the building's fault. It wasn't, it can't help that it caught on fire. There's not much that it could have, that can happen sometime, or that you can control sometimes. So, and also, take an example of countries not wanting Syrian refugees to come into their country. It's not it's not the building that is doing this. It's the humans. So even the miles of barbed wire stretched across crouching temporary huts designed to keep the unwanted at a safe distance out of sight, even the boards that had to absorb year upon year so many human sounds. So, the house, the buildings already are going through quite a bit of traumatic, but, sometimes people, kind of blame inanimate objects. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this house, everything's going wrong, but it's not the house. It's, some things aren't controlled. So then in the next section, so many depths of vomit, tears, slow-soaking blood had not offered themselves for this. The trees didn't volunteer to be cut into boards, nor the thorns for tearing flesh look around it at all. So, the trees didn't give consent to be torn down and to be used as human beings' tools. They were growing as a natural plant, a natural life form, when they were just torn down to be used for our purposes to make our textbook, we need, we say we need these things, but do we really? Not that we don't need our textbook. So, and like, you know, they're not anymore, but like, wood was used for guns. Like, if a tree could have a voice, would it want to be used to kill people? I don't think so. So then the final section, and ask whose signature is stamped on the orders traced in the corner of the building plans. Ask where the illiterate, big-bellied women were, the drunk and crazies, the ones you feared most of all. Ask where you were. So, you know, human beings really don't like to take responsibility for things, but, you know, I have paper here. I have probably not the best hairspray. You know, I have a lot of books here, you know, I that were, you know, taken from trees. I don't have I'm part of the problem. I'm not helping anything by having, you know, all this stuff that I really don't need, like, but I feel I do. I feel like I need to use this because you know, we're selfish and we only think about right now. We don't think about, you know, how our great grandchildren will feel about us, you know, not having any plants left, like in WALL-E. Like, you know, the earth is barren, you know, we don't think about that on a normal daily basis about how, you know, taking notes. We could probably to have a better system for that, but we haven't because it's easy. You know, we don't want to mix things up. We don't want to have to change anything because change is hard. That's why we're not on the metric system. So it's something to talk about. You know, how are we making things worse? So what are we doing to help things if we are at all? So thanks.